where all South Africans are equal.
I got nowhere late in my backyard, no New York City to call home, but that's okay, 'cause in my backyard I love my city, and I'm not alone. When we go down together. We're stronger together. We're struggling my neighbor. From shackles we broke free. South Africa, sing with me and let them hear us. Feel that RSA love, a place that always takes me back to my roots. And if I find myself with my head down, I'll think of you and stand my ground. If home is where the heart is, mine is with you. My heart is with you. Hold up, you. My heart is with you. My heart is with you. Hold up, you. My heart is with you. The waters are higher, the mountains are higher still. My pride is on fire, it's burning within my will. The rivers are running, the sky painted in red hue. The nation's a landscape, and my people are colorful. When we go down together. We're stronger together. We're struggling my diva. From shackles we broke free. South Africa, sing with me and let them hear us. Feel that RSA love, a place that always takes me back to my roots. And if I find myself with my head down, I'll think of you and stand my ground. If home is where the heart is, mine is with you. My heart is with you. Hold up, you. My heart is with you. My heart is with you. Hold up, you. My heart is with you. Madiba's my tata, the mother city's my home. So well I could pit. I know right where I belong. I know that you can't fight hate with hate, so you got to love. If the only ones to change the state of mind is us. South Africa, sing with me. If home is where the heart is, mine is with you. My heart is with you. Hold up, you. My heart is with you. My heart is with you. Hold up, you. My heart is with you.
Yeah, man, give it up. Crow and Vikings on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Thank you very much, man. Nice and fresh start on this Monday morning. So what was it that inspired you to write a song about the love that you have for our country?
Well, you know, I was just thinking about the state of the nation, everything that was happening in the country, and I just felt like everybody needed something that they could be proud of again.
Yeah.
And RSA Love.
Here we go,
I'm
man.
proud of that.
And it's a song that's going to be featured on your EP coming out next year?
Well, it's a single that I'm releasing or hoping to release soon as well, so yeah.
Nice one, man. We're looking forward to what it is that you're going to be delivering on your music career. So you'll have more from Cohen a little bit later on our Feel Good Breakfast Show. In the meantime, link up with us on our Facebook page and let us know what you thought about that song.
In the national news, leading the National Heritage Day celebrations yesterday, President Jacob Zuma said the Constitution is a powerful symbol of South Africa's political and liberation struggle. Speaking at a Heritage Day celebration event in Siyabuswa, Mpumalanga, Zuma said the government has introduced the Liberation Heritage Route National Project, which has restored and declared as national heritage sites the burial sites and graves of stalwarts and the founders of liberation and democracy. He urged people to visit these sites and understand the liberation heritage history of the country. Africa's largest gallery for contemporary art from the continent and its diaspora has opened in Cape Town. The Zaitz Museum of Contemporary Art Africa is situated inside old grain silos at the V&A waterfront. The buildings have been converted by UK architect Thomas Heatherwick into a maze of rooms with bulbous windows. Nobel laureate Desmond Tutu cut the ribbon at the grand public opening of the museum. Entrance to this public not-for-profit museum will be free for African passport holders at certain times of the week. Now moving further abroad, German Chancellor Angela Merkel has been re-elected for a fourth term, while nationalists have made a historic breakthrough in federal elections. Her conservative CDU-CSU alliance remains the largest party in the parliament with 32.5% of the vote. Its outgoing coalition partner, the Social Democratic SPD, says it will go into opposition after winning 20%. The nationalist AFD with 13.5% is the third party, which means this right-wing party will have seats in the Bundestag for the first time. And then finally, Kenya's Director of Public Prosecutions, Keriako Tobiko, has ordered an investigation into the Electoral Commission over possible misconduct in last month's annulled vote. He said the police and anti-corruption agency to investigate whether any electoral or criminal offences had been committed by members of the Electoral Commission. The Supreme Court annulled the result of the August the 8th poll after finding irregularities. A rerun originally scheduled for the 17th of October will be held on the 26th of October. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Here's your look at what's happening in the world of sport with Kat.
Thank you very much, Leon. A very good morning to all of our sporting fans out there. Now, SA Rugby will today present their bid for the World Cup Rugby, or to the World Cup Rugby Council in London to host the 2023 World Cup. Going up against 2007 hosts France as well as Ireland, who have never hosted the tournament before, SA Rugby is looking to bring the showpiece back to the South African shores 28 years after the historic 1995 World Cup. The announcement of the winning bid is set to take place on the 15th of November. In other rugby news, the Cheetahs earned their second win of the Pro 14 season as they beat Irish heavyweights Leinster 38-19 on Friday. In front of a home crowd, the Cheetahs ran in 4 tries to their opponents' 2, handing Leinster their first defeat of the season. Elsewhere in Pro 14 this weekend, the Kings remain winless as they went down to Zebra 43-17 to Cardiff, or the Cardiff Blues beat Connacht by 2, while Scarlets earned their 28-8 win over Edinburgh. In footballing news, Banyana Banyana were crowned the COSAFA Cup champions yesterday as they beat hosts Zimbabwe by 2-1 in Bulawayo. With the scoreline tied up at 1 apiece, Leandra Sumedi then scored a 90th minute winner to hand South Africa their 4th COSAFA Cup title in the tournament's 5-year history. The result also saw interim Banyana coach Desiree Ellis become the first person to win the tournament as both a player and a coach. And finally, Mamelodi Sundowns were knocked out of the CAF Champions League on Saturday after losing to Morocco's Wydad Casablanca 3-2 on penalties. Percy Tau, Mojeka Madisha and Yannick Zakri all missed from the spot as the game went straight to penalties after regular time ended with the aggregate score tied at 1 apiece. In other CAF results, Al Ahly beat Esperance 2-1, while USM Alga and Ferroviario Beria played out to a goalless draw. And that's a roundup of all the sporting action over the weekend. Right now, let's take a look at the weather.
Well, let's take another look at your weather, and I hope you were able to squeeze in your braai yesterday for Heritage Day, as most parts of the country seems to be expecting some showers. Looking at those temperatures, we start off in Polokwane, expect a low of 16 reaching a high of 30, partly cloudy in Mbombela 18 with a high of 33, Pretoria 15 29, Johannesburg 13 27, Mahikeng 12 reaching a high of 30, thunder showers expected in Klerksdorp, a low of 11 reaching a high of 28, thunder showers in Kimberley 6 27, Bloemfontein 4 26, partly cloudy conditions in Richards Bay 19 with a high of 30, Pietermaritzburg showers with a low of 12 reaching a high of 30, Durban wet today with a low 16, a high of 25, Mthatha 8 reaching a high of 26. If you're in East London today, expect a minimum of 11, a maximum of 20, Cradock partly cloudy 5 with a high of 25, Port Elizabeth 10 18, George 8 with a high of 18, showers expected expected in Sutherland, a -1 reaching a high of 11. Cape Town wet and cold today with a low of 9 reaching a high of 15. Worcester 4, 14. Springbok 3, 15. And in Uppington, expect partly cloudy conditions with a low of 4 and a high of 25 degrees Celsius. Well, that's where we leave your weather for now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Well, make sure you stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. After the break, we cook up a storm. In fact, a feast that is worthy of our Heritage Month. Hope is here to bring us an ox liver with steamed bread. I've never heard so much deliciousness on a Monday morning. Just like that. Looking forward to it, man.
And then we get into some Hammond time and find out more about Nick Hammond's National Heritage Tour. All that more on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Alrighty then, welcome back. It's a Monday morning. We are celebrating Heritage Weekend, Heritage Month on this long weekend. And my brother, Hope Malaukio, and today we're making a feast that is worthy of Heritage Day indeed. Ox liver and steamed bread. But we were discussing this. Prayaga, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. You are posting us otherwise because it's steamed bread, but basically you would call this Ledambi.
Yeah.
But you've taken that dough, put it in a bread tin, if you will, and then steamed it.
And then now it's called steamed bread.
So it went to private school basically, and now it has upgraded from bodambi to steamed bread. Yeah. Looking absolutely amazing. But let's get to the main ingredients of what we're talking about.
All right. So we're starting with the chicken livers, no? So I've got oil in here.
All right.
All right. when it's heated, when it's really, really hot, ne?
Yes.
That's when we're gonna start adding the ox liver.
Okay,
alright?
okay, yeah.
But then the first thing is when
I like how you went chicken livers there first, because that's what we used to go high. But it's ox livers this time round.
Yeah. So the first thing that you need to do when you buy ox liver, ne?
Yeah.
Before you cook it, you need to remove the top skin.
Okay,
right?
yes.
So that it doesn't make it tough. You know when you bite on it and then
Yeah,
you're still
yeah,
struggling.
yeah, okay.
So you need to take out the top skin, that
Alright.
shiny skin. Okay.
Alright.
Right.
So you get your oil nice and
Yeah.
hot, and it's important that it's hot. I'm assuming it's because you're going to cook it very quickly, almost
Yeah.
flash fry it.
Yes.
Because you don't want it to be super, super dry. There's
Yeah.
nothing like
Eish.
omeleting, like dry, and then you just have to have stony
Aye.
while you're eating the liver because it's so dry.
Yeah, yeah. So we season it with some salt,
Alrighty.
some pepper.
And you can go
Alright.
fine salt, coarse salt if you like, whichever
Yeah,
suits your
yeah.
taste.
And
Okay.
then some barbecue spice, right?
All right, all right.
Simple.
Yeah, get it in there because in the meantime we have prepared one that is
Yeah.
absolutely
Cool.
right and ready.
So we brown the ox liver,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we're gonna take it out, and then we're gonna add the onions and
Alright.
then the tomatoes. The tomatoes, we actually put them in boiling water, and then
Mm-hmm.
we peeled off the top skin
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do that?
because you wanted to. You don't want that skin to make it. You don't want those chunks in. You
Okay.
understand? So
Alright.
you want it smooth.
Yeah, matter of preference, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, good, good, good.
All right.
Carry on, sir.
So after browning this, guys, all right, we're gonna remove it out of here. Can I get a bowl somewhere?
I'll get you.
Actually, no, I'll use this.
How
It's
about
okay.
that? There we go.
Yeah. I'll use this again. All
All
right.
when I go halona, ra go tshwara ke tlala monna. It's a really go 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I hope. When are we eating, my guy? Anyway, listen, SMS the keyword bread to 33728 and we'll send you the ingredients list as well as the recipe to make your own at home so you can make these beautiful ox livers with steamed bread. Okay, so go with the onions.
Onions, all right? And then we're gonna go with the garlic as well.
Lovely.
As soon as the onions are soft, garlic in. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of chili. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was a little bit of a lot.
Are you that sensitive?
I'm very, very sensitive to hot food, my man. So if you're ever going to be cooking for me, Gochai, then ease up on the chilies.
All right, all right.
We're going to go with, what's this? A bit
This
of
is paprika.
paprika.
And then if you want a little bit more spiciness, add some cayenne on it.
Alrighty.
Okay, I'm gonna add the beef stock in here as well. All right, and then the tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Are you going to, right now?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I'll let you do the honors, sir.
All right.
Okay, so
Okay.
tomatoes go in whole, just like that.
You can actually slice it to cook quicker.
Okay, cool.
But we are gonna use a blender, so you don't need to.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Get
and
that
then,
all mixed up.
all right. This is all mixing in nicely. Then we add a little bit of sugar.
Alrighty.
All right. Some vinegar. All right.
True. There's a lot of ingredients to remember. That's why you at home need to SMS the
Yeah.
keyword bread to 33728 and we'll send you the necessary ingredients list. There'll be a little link there to the recipe as well, and then you can make this at home, especially with the weather that we have today in Cape Town.
Yo, but I like it, eh?
It's
I
nice
love
and
it.
rainy, cold, obviously with cloud cover there. So sitting at home to something delicious and stewy like this will be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we're done here, we need to blend the sauce.
Yes.
Then it's something like this.
Boom. Get the
All right.
livers in there.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay. And
All right. I tell you what, I'm going to let you just take your time because you want to make sure that all of that sauce gets into the liver. And then we'll come back just to have a look at the presentation of that dish a little bit later on. SMS the keyword bread to 33728.
yeah, man.
Looks absolutely delicious. Well, Heritage Month is a time to reflect and celebrate on all those things that make us rooted to our origins. And in South Africa, there are so many to explore and learn about. That's why 5FM's Nick Hammond from Hammond Time and the Top 40 embarked on a heritage tour around the country. And he's joining us on the line this morning to tell us more about his highlights. Nick, good morning. Welcome to Expresso.
Good morning, thank you.
It's so awesome. Nick, tell us why, or rather, what was the objective of seeing South Africa's heritage, rather, in this way?
Because it's Tourism Month, it's Heritage Month, and I believe that if you haven't had an opportunity to see and explore this country, I wanted to give that to you on the radio so as that more and more of us realize how lucky we are to be here.
Absolutely. And how valuable was it to have South Africa's listeners suggest places that you should go and see?
Oh man, I mean, the kind of experiences we got just from people suggesting to us where we go, not going on Google, going off the beaten track, allowed us to see some things that I well, as a travel person, didn't even know existed in this country. Like, for example, you know, a man with 120,000 books inside a small hotel somewhere in Batuti where you can just go and disconnect from the world for the weekend.
Wow.
That kind of stuff, those kind of gems, you would never have had if it weren't for my listeners that called in, that emailed us, that tweeted. It was exceptional.
Now, that was a pretty awesome moment, but what were some of your other highlights on your travel so far?
Highlights for me, definitely going to ancient Mapungubwe. It's old civilization that predates that of Great Zimbabwe. It's pre-colonial society where, you know, one of the hubs of Africa and the world was back in the times of like 1000 AD, and that's not that known about in the history books anymore. And I think that story is really important and powerful. Going down to Groot Mariko and learning how Mampur is made in that part of the world was also really special. You know, the home of Herman Charles Bosman as well, the stories of Oomskalk Lawrence, and etc. And going to the Battle of Isandlwana in Durban, that was ridiculous when we got to see the song or the battle that Impi is about, and follow the battle and a big important part of our history. And those for me are some of the highlights that stand out.
Oh, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. And then finally, Nick, what were some of the most surprising things that you've learned about South Africans along the way?
I think for me it was to see how willing and open everybody was. You know, the nature of the trip meant that very often we weren't able to plan things ahead of time. We weren't able to let people know we were coming to their homes, to their hotels, to their to their places, and everybody, every single person just opened their doors with open arms and took us in and showed us their history, their heritage, their culture, and that to me was something quite remarkable.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, like you said, just going off of the beaten track allows you to discover gems that you might otherwise not have seen.
100%.
Oh, Nick, thank you so much for joining us. We're totally jealous, but the wonderful thing is, as South Africans, we can all do things like that, but we appreciate your input and what you did through the heritage experience.
What a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nick. Well, that was Nick from Hammond Time. And like I said, it's not something that only he can do. It's something that each of us South Africans can do. Experience the beauty of our beautiful country.
Even though it's a public holiday today, and I know the mother city is wet and cold, we're all wishing for some time to soak up the sun, but how about winning R500,000 cash prize? Does that sound good to you? Well, all you have to do is you have to enter this reality competition, the up-and-coming season of Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives. That's TIOT8. Now, how do you enter? Well, that's the easy part. All you have to do is you buy any Tropica with the special marked Tropica packs with the gold cap, and you follow the instructions on the label. Now, I'll show you how this one works. I've got a little bottle here with Kanye's face on it, and it's got the golden cap, and what you have to do is, there are all the instructions on the label. You peel back the label ever so slowly to reveal your own unique code. Once you have that code, you dial *120*8767 with your unique code followed by hash. Then you follow the prompts from there. Now, as soon as you have done this, you can come and join us at one of our 3 audition dates around the country and show us why you are ready to take part in Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives. Now, remember to join in on the conversation and tell us who you would like to be teamed up with. That's on Tropica Island on Facebook or at MyTropica on Twitter and Instagram. Remember to also include that hashtag TIOT8. And as always, T's and C's can be found on tropica.co.za.
Dreaming of prizes, fame and fortune? It's now your chance of a lifetime to join your favorite celebrities in paradise and become famous like them on Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives. Plus, a chance to win a shared smooth R1,000,000. Buy Tropica, enter and come to the auditions on Saturday the 30th of September at Cavendish Square, Cape Town, 7th of October at Gateway, Durban, or 14th of October at The Zone, Johannesburg. Grab a Tropica for details. There's nothing smoother.
Certainly looking forward to all of the action and excitement that will be hashtag TIOT8. But listen, take a look at this beautiful recipe that Hope made for us. So we've got those ox livers in that wonderful tomato-based sauce, and then the steamed bread, motokofale. You can just dip in there, have yourself a nice time. Look at that. Yes, man. Get in there. You see, Hope is the only chef who comes into the kitchen, cooks, and then eats the food himself. Everybody else offers it to us. Anyway, listen, we'll be back after the break. We'll be talking about Sibongile Khumalo, one of our musical icons in the country, who celebrated her 60th birthday on Heritage Day, which is absolutely wonderful. And then also get back into the kitchen to make a toasted oat pilaf with poached egg. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Dreaming of prizes, fame and fortune? It's now your chance of a lifetime to join your favorite celebrities in paradise and become famous like them on Tropica Island of Treasure, Maldives. Plus, a chance to win a shared smooth 1 million rand. Buy Tropica, enter and come to the auditions on Saturday the 30th of September at Cavendish Square, Cape Town. 7th of October at Gateway, Durban. Or 14th of October at The Zone, Johannesburg. Grab a Tropica for details. There's nothing smoother.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back and happy Monday to you. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on SABC3. Hope you haven't snoozed that alarm too many times. Otherwise, you'll be missing out on all the action that's happening here. Now, listen, when you turn 60, that's quite a milestone. And having this milestone happen on such a special day as September the 24th, of course, which is South African Heritage Day. Now, that makes it even more meaningful.
I agree with you. Now, when you are Sibongile Khumalo and this is happening to you, then what is more fitting than a 3-night musical concert series in tribute to the contributions she has made to the South African music industry?
Our Johannesburg correspondent Sulopiri sits down with Mama Sibongile in light of this auspicious occasion.
Mam Sibongile Khumalo's incomparable singing talent has been a cornerstone of South African music since first bursting onto the scene back in 1993 and having started off by winning the coveted Young Artist Award at the National Arts Festival. She's really gone on to showcase our rich musical heritage to audiences across the world, and we're lucky enough to get a sneak peek into one of her rehearsals today.
The South African music industry is appreciative of her vast contributions, which is why she is being celebrated in a musical tribute series in honor of her 60th birthday this Sunday, Heritage Day.
So, Ma, the number 3 resonates a lot with your career. I mean, in 1992, you performed the 3 Phases of Sibongile Khumalo, and your music style is influenced a lot by South African, European, and jazz roots. And this music series is being performed over 3 nights. Would you say that the number 3 holds a special place in your heart?
I do find that when I do a lot of things, I do them in 3s. In theatre terms, in music terms, one thing I learned about doing things 3 times, for instance, is that the first time somebody sees what you're doing or hears what you've said. The second time they're like, oh, there's that thing again. What is that? The third time it comes around, it's like, oh, that's what it means. So there's a kind of like aha moment that happens.
So let's take it back to your birthday, the day you were born, the 24th of September 1957. Now, I'm sure back then you had no idea that fast forward to 1995, that day would become Heritage Day. When did music become your heritage and your gift?
I was born in a musical family. My father was a voice coach and a choir conductor and music historian. My mother had this voice that was just too beautiful. So I suppose I inherited it from them, really. I don't think I had much of an option but to be in music.
Growing up and forming your identity in the struggle years, what was it like being part of key historic moments like the inauguration of former President Dr. Nelson Mandela and the 1995 Rugby World Cup?
Madiba's inauguration was very special. Being in that space, being a part of a jubilant nation, part of a hopeful nation. It was a time when anything and everything seemed possible. So it was very affirming and it was beautiful. It was fabulous. It was like, yes, we did this thing. Being part of those cues, right? The Rugby World Cup, on the other hand, was a very different experience in the sense that you get asked to sing the anthem at an event like this, and you're like, oh, really? Okay, sure. It was fun. It was exciting. Singing the okay, afterwards. It was just the unity, the sense of unity, the sense of togetherness, the sense of we're a nation that can actually do it, and we are doing it. Let's continue doing it. It was an incredible time then, and I'm hoping we can replicate it today.
How does your heritage come across in your music?
The sounds that one heard, the people that influenced us, both in those who were in exile, the Miriams and the Letambulus, etc., and those who were inside the country, you know, Abo Mam Sophie Mtina, Doli Ratebe, and so on. Invariably, you find that what they did, what they produced, how they performed, how they presented themselves on stage, you know, has an effect on what one does. The traditional sounds of my people, of my Zulu people, growing up in a township like Soweto, where you heard umculo wa mashangane, umculo wa maxhosa, umculo wa beSuthu, all of that invariably gets infused in what one does. It makes me feel proud to know that people listen to our music and can appreciate it. It makes one feel good to know that one can be an intrinsic part of how we are perceived. People hear the music and they can appreciate it and they seem to like it, and that makes me feel very proud, very, very proud.
Khumalo's gift indeed proves to be divine, as she credits her vocal abilities to her parents, ancestors and God. While it took a 7-year interim for her latest studio album release, Breath of Life, last year, she continues to work as a performing artist to keep her creative juices flowing.
So, Ma, on Sunday you're turning 60 years old and you don't look a day over 35, and you've got 30 years experience in the professional music industry. How important is it to you to continue performing?
Performing regularly, or as much as possible, keeps you in touch with what people are appreciating out there. It keeps you in touch with how people perceive us as performers. I believe in striving for excellence And I think I'm hoping that is an ethos that we will eventually find permeating all levels of society in this country.
So it must be a humbling experience having a concert dedicated to honoring you and celebrating your impact in the music industry. How does a moment like this help you reflect on your achievements and what's in store for Mamsibongile Khumalo in the future?
Even as it is humbling, it makes you think back what happened when I started. And I find that the most important thing for me has been and will continue to be my parents. I am consciously aware of their influence on my life. How being in that particular space gave one discipline, gave one a sense of purpose with one's life. I'm very involved with a project that my dad started, a youth music teaching program that he started. And that's the one thing that's been preoccupying me and that will continue to preoccupy me as I move ahead, move forward with my life.
Known as the undisputed queen of song, there's really no doubt that Mamsibongile Khumalo's influence has really inspired this generation. And it's with great dedication and celebration that we at Expresso wish her a joyous 60th birthday.
Well, it's time for us to head to the kitchen with Graham and Zola. And this morning, Jungle has called this next thing Zvotes. It's savory oats, and let's see what they have in store for us.
So whenever we think of breakfast oats, I think generally we think sweet. Well, Jungle Oats has now turned the idea of breakfast oats on its head with what they have dubbed Zvotes. Yes, you heard me right. It's savory oats. And being the experts on oats and energy breakfast in South Africa for nearly 97 years now, I think they must be onto something. So today, we're adding savory ingredients to our oats this morning to create our Zvotes. And we're going to top it all off with a beautiful poached egg. Ah, Zola. This is so interesting.
It is. It's exciting. It's different.
1,000,001 ingredients that I've never had with oats. What is going on in the kitchen
So you're
today?
used to having oats with cinnamon or with honey, so something sweet in the morning. But we're trying to show you that there's so much more that you can do with oats. So we're making Zvotes, like you said. So savory oats, and this is a play on traditional pilaf rice, which is a savory rice dish.
Okay.
And instead of the rice, we're using our giant oats.
Our Jungle Oats.
Yes.
I love that. So it's going to be pretty nutritious as well. But
it's going to be very nutritious.
This is all about texture and flavor combination. So where do we start?
Okay, so I'm going to take the giant oat flakes and just toast them up a little bit in just a dry, hot pan, just like this, just to give them a little bit of a nutty flavor.
Just activate them a little bit.
Exactly, and also, yeah, just to activate them a little bit. That's a good way to put it.
Do you like that term, eh?
I like that. And then in this pan over here, I've got some, let me just swap them around. In this, while this toasts, I've got some leeks.
Ah, I was wondering, they smell delicious.
Yep, I like to put just a little bit of chili in at this point, but this is optional. I like to serve it with a bit of chili as well, but you could do fresh chili like we're doing here, or you could do chili flakes.
I mean, we've got so many great chili variants in South Africa that we can delve into. It doesn't always have to be like mind-numbingly hot. You can get some nice jalapeno.
It's all about the fragrance, completely. And you can take the seeds out if you don't like the heat, but you like the flavor. Okay.
Sure.
So once our jungle oats are toasted, we pop them into the pan with the leeks, just like that. So now the oats are really nutty, and the leeks are very soft, and the chili has imparted its flavor. So mix that all
so
together.
You've got that contrast of textures, vital.
Oh yes. Then at this stage, we're going to add some stock. Ooh, now we're cooking.
That's where the food theatre comes in. You just activated that stock.
And then the oats will absorb a lot of this liquid. Okay.
And that's, I think we're using the giant flakes is going to help a lot. The large tiger oat flakes.
Yeah.
It's gonna
they cook so much faster.
A lot,
so much faster. Okay. So once that's all absorbed, it looks just like this. Okay. So you can see it's a little bit drier now. Okay. And now we're going to finish off our oats. Okay, so trust me at this point. I know it's a bit different.
But you're pushing the boat out. You are pushing the boat out.
Pushing boundaries here. Yeah. So we're going to add some peas to this.
Just for a bit of pop.
And a bit of parsley or coriander, but I know it's you, so this is parsley, don't worry.
How do I know? I didn't even smell it. I should have checked beforehand.
It is, smell it. And then a few sliced or slivered almonds, just for a bit extra texture.
Nice.
Okay, so mix this all together, and all you're trying to do here is
this is really healthy.
So healthy, so good for you, and actually really, really tasty.
So the keyword here is jungle to 33728, and we'll have you making your own very own Zvotes in no time. We are almost finished here, but before we put our egg on, let's go through a little blow by blow, a bit of a recap of how we got you.
Toast jungle tiger oats and remove from the pan. Sauté leeks, then add the toasted jungle oats and vegetable stock. Stir until cooked. Add frozen peas and chopped parsley, sprinkle with flaked almonds and serve with a poached egg. For the full recipe, visit the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page or log on to www.expressoshow.com. SMS the keyword jungle to 33728 to receive the shopping list on your phone. Click on the link provided to view the recipe. SMSs cost R1.50, no free SMSs, T's and C's apply.
So a little bit more chili going into the mix. We've applied our 2 eggs, if that's the right term. It's looking amazing. It's smelling all kinds of delicious. What's the final touch?
I'm going to break the yolk so you can see
it.
how...
These have been standing for a little while, so they might not
No,
be completely
no,
ready.
these are
Look at it.
perfectly poached eggs. Don't you worry. Poach them. There you go.
My mouth, my taste buds. We did say that our taste buds were going to be exploding and popping all over the place, and you have done it.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please, for our bowl of svotes. The key word is not svotes. It is jungle to 33728, and we'll send you that ingredients list. This is absolutely amazing. Can I have a taste?
Please taste it so you can tell people how delicious it is. Maybe avoid the chili so you don't burn your mouth.
I want to get some of that.
Get some egg, get some oats.
Mm-hmm.
It's tasty.
It's hearty, it's delicious. This is magic, man.
Yep.
Jungle, the natural energy champion.
Those votes look delicious. Well, every Friday, it's Win a Home on Afternoon Express, South Africa's premier interior design reality competition, proudly brought to you by Private Property, where you can follow the journey of 3 competing design duos as they decorate 3 homes, 1 room at a time.
Now, if you vote for your favorite design duo, you stand a chance of winning the grand prize worth 3 million rand. That's your choice of one of the 3 completed homes at the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate, as decorated by the design contestants, with finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone and premier appliances by Grundig. Now, you're also automatically entered to win incredible prizes in their bi-weekly giveaway, and the current prize is the Grow Eurocube Sink Mixer Professional, valued at over 12,000 rand, and all you have to do is follow the excitement and the fun on Win a Home, and you could win big.
This is your chance to win the home you've always dreamed of. SA's favorite interior design reality competition, Win a Home, sees 3 design duos transform empty spaces into lavish homes, and one of them could be yours. To enter, visit privateproperty.co.za and vote for your favorite design duo. Put yourself in line to win amazing prizes in the bi-weekly draw and automatically be entered for a chance to win the grand prize, your choice of one of 3 fully designed homes in the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate in the south of Joburg. The finished property will include luxurious finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone, as well as premier home appliances by Grundig, with a total prize value of more than 3 million rand. Competition details plus T's and C's can be found on the Private Property website. Watch the breathtaking properties come to life as the design drama unfolds and stand a chance to win the biggest prize on South African television, your very own dream home.
Well, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we come back, we chat to musician Shoma Josie to explain the lyrics to the latest hit that they've produced. And then we also speak to Globetrotter Nathan Fluellen from the friendly city of Chicago on his visit to the African continent. Stay tuned for that and more on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
I'm a dreamer, a doer. I know the hustle. I just need my money to hustle for me.
Let your money hustle for you. Get a bank account for R5 per month and bank on the Nedbank app without using any data. See money differently. Nedbank.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso, and time for us to find out what our international stars have been up to over the weekend.
Oh, well, I hope you didn't miss it, but in case you did, social media was lit on the weekend as everybody was talking about probably the biggest news of the year. Reports of Kylie Jenner's rumored pregnancy. Now, this comes after the reality star was spotted with what looks like a baby bump while out and about in Los Angeles. To add more fuel to the fire, her boyfriend and rumored baby daddy, Travis Scott, has reportedly been boasting about how excited he is to become a dad. Now, if that wasn't enough, Kylie, who is said to be expecting a baby girl, posted this sketch of her with a toddler version of herself, which fans say confirms the news.
For real?
It's not confirmed until she says it's confirmed, so it's still all speculation, but too many people are saying it's true.
Is she just fueling the fire by posting a picture like that?
I hope that, you know what, I hope that it's not, because I think it's really, I don't think it's a very responsible thing to do if you are fueling the fire of something that's not really there.
Yeah.
Of course, naturally, I was not the most excited when I heard about it, because I know that a lot of young girls, funny enough, actually do look up to Kylie Jenner. Yeah. And she was really, really doing well. I mean, I'm happy for her if she's happy, but I was just like, wow, you know, she's been with him for like 5 months and pregnant for like 4 of them. So, anyways.
Oh, so another crazy rumor I heard is apparently she's surrogate for Kim Kardashian. I told you that's a crazy
like
rumor.
an urban legend right there. Hey, how crazy would that be?
Okay.
Anyways, on to some other news. Also taking big steps in their relationship is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. The notoriously private couple have attended their first public event together. But before you get too excited, no, they didn't arrive hand in hand like I was hoping, but were sitting a few seats apart at the Invictus Games in Toronto. Harry was on royalty duty and sat next to Melania Trump, who he met earlier that day. But sources,
he looks so happy.
I know, he's like, wow.
So excited.
But sources say that even though she was a few seats away, Harry only had eyes for her. Funny enough, my mom was saying how happy Melania looked to be next to him, because she's usually so like, when she's next to Trump, and now she was like, when she's next to Harry, so I don't know.
Is that her happy face?
This was, she was glowing.
Is everybody missing the photo of the guy in front who really... No, look at the guy in front who really wanted to make it into that picture. He's like, hi, I'm also here.
But the woman next to the guy in front, that's how Melania usually looks when she's in either.
So that's smiling. Okay,
pale.
I'll keep that in mind.
Alrighty then, and that's the latest news from the international entertainment scene. But let's bring it right back home now, where arts and culture, of course, have always been an important part of South African heritage. And one artist who represents that very proudly, especially on this Heritage Month, is Shoma Josie, a Tsonga rapper based in Johannesburg. And we recently caught up with her and asked her to explain the lyrics to her latest hit.
Hi, my name is Shoma Josie, aka Sis Smart Joes, and I come to the city. Black Cinderella, woke sleeping beauty, cover the braids, cover the cutie. Today, I'm going to explain some of my lyrics of Dumi Phone. I don't usually do this. I always tell you, go and ask your Tsonga friends. But this, I'm gonna do for a change, just for Expresso. So let's go. Yeah. Sure. Manetana coming in this way. Lokum lako kanyamina village should miss me. Manetana coming in this way. Lokum lako kanyamina village should miss me. Party since Tuesday. When it's a new wave, you wouldn't want to bother stopping me because it's too late. So that part means no one can tell me anything about how I behave. If you're trying to do anything to spite me, you might as well forget about it because it's not going to work. Besides, I've been fighting since Tuesday and I'm on this new wave. You wouldn't want to bother stopping me because it's too late. It just means we're on a new wave. We brought a whole new style into SA. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what we're doing. And this is also why we're always out, we're always whatever. Everybody wants to get a taste of, you know, the style that we've brought. That's what we've done. Kasi I rapa yini ma Jozi, kasi I fambela yini a Jozi. Mina swivutiso leswi ni swi koti. Loko I lava ni kumi food. Ni kumi food. Sesima Jozi I dumi food. People are always asking me, Kuri, what language is Shoma Josie rapping in? People are always asking me, why did Shoma Josie move to Johannesburg? I'm saying, I don't don't want any of your questions. And if you want to talk to me, holla at my phone because I'm phone famous. Mitana bona bangana bawe, hambina lokubo fika bate. Ani lok mitami bona mazwala en mara lok mino mi veta miten. Namunta rita zeripel. Namunta mingeteli el. So some of these parts aren't that translatable into English, but roughly it's this idea that, you know, invite all your friends to this party. You guys are always talking about how you party hard. Today we'll see, because a lot of the time you guys go to bed early. Tonight no one is going to sleep. Hey, tata nabanga nabae. Ibi iramba banga nabawe. Minan tata nabanga nabame. We tata nabanga nabawe. Hey, tata nabanga nabae. Ibi iramba banga nabawe. Which means, you know, everyone's gonna bring their friends, basically. You know, everyone's gonna bring each of their friends, and it's gonna come together and be a big party. Also, I got famous through my phone, so it means both of those things. And I'm also explaining that if you need me, just reach me on my phone. And yeah, that's it. Those are the lyrics of Do Me Food. Sesema just eat to me food. Hey, eat to me food. Loco in lava, nico me food. Hey, nico me food. Sesema just eat to me food. Hey, eat to me food.
Oh, isn't that location just incredible? Big thanks to Landlords for, you know, allowing them to be there on that day. Well, we're now joining by Nathan Fluellen, who is an adventurer, TV show host, and an all-round thrill seeker. He's visiting Africa all the way from Chicago, and he's been traveling the continent filming a new reality travel show called Worldwide Nate, and it will be airing on the Africa channel in the US. And his final stop is right here in the mother city, Cape Town, where he's wrapping up the series this past weekend. Nathan, great to have you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you know what? You are living the dream, traveling for a living. You know, tell us a little bit more about Worldwide Nate.
Well, Worldwide Nate African Adventures is a thrilling look into this fun and beautiful continent through the eyes of me, a South Side of Chicago person who's able to come experience this beautiful continent 10,000 miles away from home.
So you're going to be taking the viewer on that journey, but tell us a little bit, how long have you been on the journey? Where did you start? What is the journey all about?
Well, I started in my favorite country, which is here in South Africa, and I've been on a journey through 7 countries, filming 13 episodes. And the goal of the show is to demystify the travel into Africa for the average American millennial. Because I want to show people that this is a beautiful continent that people should visit, and that they shouldn't be scared of Africa and then change the narrative of Africa.
Yeah, definitely not. I think, you know, there are a lot of misconceptions and a lot of stereotypes that come with, you know, when people say they're coming to South Africa or they're coming to a different African country. But yesterday we celebrated Heritage Day in South Africa, something we're all very fond of. You know, we feel very proud of our history and we all can connect to it. But what have you been enjoying about the different cultures you've been exposed to throughout your journey?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was able to be out yesterday and see everybody wearing their different garments from the countries that they represent. And I love how there is that mix of the different cultures, like the Zulu and the Botswana, and then the Xhosa.
Yes, you got the click going. That's good. That's good.
I had to make sure I say it the right way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great to see that this is a melting pot of all these cultures, and then just to see people celebrate the different cultures was pretty phenomenal.
Well, you know what? Heritage Day is also known as Braai Day. Did you at least taste some braai?
Oh yeah, I got to taste some braai. I actually got a chance in KwaZulu-Natal to go to Max's Lifestyle in the Umlazi district.
Okay.
And I was back there braaiing with a fork and then with, you know, open fire. And it was so hot, I think my hand got a tan.
Yeah, you have to be careful. I think there's a little bit of I know there's a technique, you know, when the fire is ready is when you can hold your hand for a few seconds above the coals.
Yeah, you gotta.
Is that something you're gonna be, you know, taking the braai back to Chicago? Because you guys have your barbecue.
Yeah, we had a barbecue, but I like the braai style better, I gotta be honest, because, you know, ours is with the closed grill, and the braai is the open flame, so you get to see the meat cooking and see the juices flowing off the meat and the gristle just cooking. It's just, I really like what I'm learning from the South Africans here.
Okay, and I have to ask you, you know, you said this is a 13-part episode. What was your favorite, without giving too much away, in terms of, you know, was it perhaps a certain activity or person you met that we can look out to?
Well, the pilot episode, it was great. I went to Penda in KwaZulu-Natal, which is operated by the world-renowned and beyond company, and we did an animal translocation mission where I helped save a black rhino and herds of Cape buffalo.
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's pretty impressive, and that's the pilot episode.
Right.
Okay, well, lots to look forward to in that 13-part series, and I believe you've been picking up some of the lingo.
Yes, I have an affinity for the Zulus. Don't be mad at me. I know it's a lot of tribes here, but I like the Zulu language when they say sabona, which is welcome, and then kumnadi at the queenie is another phrase that I learned. So, but Zulu is very challenging.
It is.
It might be the most challenging language, but it would be the most rewarding if I'm able to fluently speak Zulu.
It is a beautiful language indeed. Well, thank you so much, Nathan, for joining us this morning. Nathan flew Ellen on your Feel Good Breakfast show, showcasing, or at least coming to give us a sneak peek of what to expect in Worldwide Nate that will be broadcasting on the Africa channel in the US.
Well, it's time for you to say goodbye to Blue Monday. Why? Because Facebook Monday is here. Now, on Facebook Monday, you get free data to post, to like, and to share your favorite pics on Facebook with Vodacom Make Your Day. So if you would like to win online shopping vouchers, why don't you head over to Vodacom's Facebook page and check out the Facebook Monday competition. To make your day, simply keep a positive data balance on your Vodacom SIM card, then dial *111*634# or download the latest version of the My Vodacom app. And remember to opt in daily so you don't miss out on up to 1 gig of free data every day. For more information and T's and C's, visit vodacom.co.za.
Thanks very much, Leanne. Now, keep it locked on your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we come back, we take a look and chat to the cast of SABC3's latest show called The Mavericks, all while celebrating the 19th anniversary of one of SABC3's oldest shows, Isidingo. So stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. We'll be right back after this.
Make their wildest dreams come true. Get your free Dreammaker pillow when you buy 2 bags of Hill's Pets Food.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show on this Monday morning. Quickly taking a look at all the stories that we found across social media that, of course, have made our day and are going to make your day, because Facebook Monday is around. So what have we found, guys?
Well, you know what? When I got my kitty cat, I had no idea what catnip is. And for those of you who don't know catnip, it literally is magical dust that will turn any domestic feline into a wild cat the minute they smell the
Really?
things. Cats go crazy for catnip for some
As in
reason.
excited crazy.
Like excited, over the top crazy. I don't know what it is about catnip, but they just go berserk. Just take a look.
Okay, so
take a look.
catnip, not even once.
Like cats go crazy the minute they
Is it delicious, or is
I
it
don't
like...
know. They just like Sailor will just run around the minute he smells catnip. And if you sprinkle catnip over their toys, they can't leave it alone. It's like magic.
Catnip and catpole, awkward family situation.
Basically like cat korobela. That makes sense. I guess
Well,
in
if you
that
ever
way.
want to see a cat go crazy, just give him some catnip.
Very cool. Well, I also found the story of a little doggy just bringing immense joy to the world. Now, Maxine the corgi was sitting in her owner's bag and playing with a ball and just decided to stun passers-by. So let's take a look. Look at that.
Cute.
Look at that. How cute, eh? There we go. Oh,
a little football star in the making.
I love it.
Some headers
You
over
could
there.
not smile when you see things like that, right?
Soon that dog will be running across football pitches all over the world, not being able to resist
helping out
balls,
soccer
right?
teams
Yeah,
as
dog
they need
nip,
it.
dog nip on that ball. Anyway, those are some of the interesting stuff that we found on social media. Do share your stories with us, and of course, use our hashtag Expresso Show when you do so. But right now, if you're looking for something fun and great to do while you are in Durban, then make sure that you visit the Essence Festival that's been underway, and it goes all the way through until the 1st of October at the Durban ICC every single day from 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 p.m. And they've got some absolutely stunning things happening over there, like the All-Star or the Essence All-Star Music Concert. That's on the 30th of September 2017 at the Durban ICC. And you can find your tickets at computicket.com. They've also got the likes of Jill Scott, 3-time Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter. Plus, Mikasa will be there. Nasty C will be there, Kuzani and others. And the Essence All-Star Gospel Concert that takes place on the 1st of October, also there at the Durban ICC, starring Bishop T.D. Jakes. Have you ever been to one of his sermons? I mean, he's like well known throughout the world. He brings
Absolutely.
about all of the spirit. And of course,
100%.
Joyous Celebration will be there, sprinkling their magical music into that concert as well. But in case you're wondering what the Essence Festival is all about, take a look at this.
Passion, inspiration and power take centre stage at Africa's Essence Festival, Durban, from Tuesday 26 September to Sunday 1 October at the Durban International Convention Centre.
The city of New Orleans prides itself in being a leading convention and tourist and eventing capital of the United States. So we felt there's a huge amount of synergy between the two cities, and Essence just became a good fit to say how can we get Essence New Orleans and Essence Durban to begin to talk to each other and send South African tourists there and bring American tourists to Essence in Durban.
The Essence Festival Durban has something for everyone, from authors to artists, entrepreneurs to fashionistas and fun lovers.
This year's program actually is aimed at firing Africa with inspiration. So please come to the Essence Festival, which is a 6-day packed program of inspiration, of empowerment, of enterprise development, fashion, beauty, style, celebrating our culture and connecting with the communities through youth development, women empowerment, cultural exchange, health and fitness, and a whole lot of things that are Durban, showcasing our food, art and entertainment. It's quite a nice program that we've put together for everyone in the family, whether you're a child, mom, a daughter, a father. You are going to enjoy at the Essence Festival and find something that is relevant to you, to be empowered and also to be entertained.
Beauty and style will trend on the runway and at the hair and makeup workshops. Articulate Africa will enchant, celebrate, create and disrupt through an art exhibition and book fair, where one can shop and connect with authors and experts in the arts from 29 September to 1 October. And what would a festival be without food? Essence Eats will offer a feast of flavors from Friday to Sunday. There will be a double treat for music lovers. The Essence All-Star Music Concert will feature Grammy Award-winning Jill Scott, along with Mikasa, Nasty C, Babes Wodumo and Kuzani at the ICC on 30 September. The Essence All-Star Gospel Concert sees Bishop T.D. Jakes live on stage with joyous celebration. Tickets for both concerts can be booked through CompuTicket. Essence Festival Durban will connect communities across the globe and empower youth, women and entrepreneurs. Make sure you are part of the celebrations.
Well, clearly Durban is the place to be. Make sure that you don't miss out on the Essence Festival. You'll have all the information right now on your screen. Well, it's time right now that we take a look at what is happening in the news headlines of the day.
En die nasionale nuuspresident Jacob Zuma het gister tydens Erfenisdag feesvieringe op Siabuswa in Mpumalanga gesê die grondwet is 'n kragtige simbool van Suid-Afrika se politieke en bevrydingserfenis. Hy het gesê die regering het die bevrydingserfenisroete projek van stapel laat loop met grafte van die staatmakers en grondleggers van bevryding en demokrasie wat opgeknap is en tot nasionale erfenisterreine verklaar is. Hy het mense aangemoedig om die terreine te besoek sodat hulle die bevrydingserfenisgeskiedenis van die land sal beter verstaan. Afrika se grootste galery vir kontemporêre kuns van die kontinent is amptelik in Kaapstad geopen. Die Zuids Museum vir Kontemporêre Afrika Kuns is binne ou graanseiers aan die Kaapstadse waterkant geleë. Herbouwerk het onder die wakende oog van die Britse argitek Thomas Heatherwick geskied. Daar is talle vertrekke met bolvormige vensters. Nobelpryswenner Dr. Desmond Tutu het die amptelike opening waargeneem. Toegang tot die museum sal op sekere tye van die week vir Afrika paspoorthouers gratis wees. Op die internasionale front Duitsland se kanselier Angela Merkel is gister vir 'n ongekende 4de termyn gekies. Haar konservatiewe CDU-SCU alliansie, wat 32,5 van die stemme op hom verenig het, is steeds die grootste party in die parlement. Haar vorige koalisie vernoot die sosiale-demokratiese SPD met 20% van die stemme word nou die amptelike oppositie. Die nasionalistiese anti-islamitiese party, die AFD, het met 13,5 van die stem totaal die derde beste gevaar. Dit beteken dat die regse party nou die eerste keer setels in die Bondeslag sal hê. En dan ten slotte, Kenia se direkteur van openbaar vervolgings, Keriako Tobiko, het 'n ondersoek na die verkiesingskommissie gelas weens moontlike wangedrag na verlede maand se algemene verkiesing wat nietig verklaar is. Hy het die polisie versoek om vas te stel of enige lid van die kommissie kriminele oortredings begaan het. Die Hooggeregshof het die uitslag van die verkiesing van 8 Augustus weens onreëlmatighede nietig verklaar. Nog 'n verkiesing word op 26 Oktober gehou. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport with Kat.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Now, Rugby South Africa will today present their bid to the World Rugby Council in London to host the 2023 World Cup. Going up against 2007 hosts France as well as Ireland, who have never hosted the tournament before, South Africa, or SA Rugby, is looking to bring the showpiece back to South African shores 28 years on from the historic 1995 World Cup. The announcement of the winning bid is set to take place on the 15th of November. In other rugby news, the Cheetahs earned their second win of the Pro 14 season as they beat Irish heavyweights Leinster by 38 points to 19 on Friday. In front of their home crowd, the Cheetahs ran in 4 tries to their opponents' 2, handing Leinster their first defeat of the season. Elsewhere in the Pro 14 this weekend, the Kings remain winless as they went down to Zebra by 43-17. The Cardiff Blues beat Connacht by 2, while Scarlets earned a 28-8 win over Edinburgh. In footballing news, Banyana were crowned COSAFA Cup champions yesterday as they beat hosts Zimbabwe by 2-1 in Bulawayo. With the scoreline tied up at 1 apiece, Leandra Smeda scored a 90th minute winner to hand South Africa their 4th COSAFA Cup title in the tournament's 5-year history. The result also saw interim Banyana coach Desiree Ellis become the first person to win the tournament as both a player and a coach. And finally, Mamelodi Sundowns were knocked out of the CAF Champions League on Saturday after losing to Morocco's Wydad Casablanca 3-2 on penalties. Percy Tau, Mojeka Madisha and Yannick Zachary all missed from the spot as the game went straight to penalties after regular time ended with the aggregate score tied at 1-1. In other CAF results, Al Ahly beat Esperance 2-1, while USM Alga and Ferroviario Beira played out to a goalless draw. And that's a roundup of all of your sporting action. Right now, let's take a look at what's happening in the weather.
Well, let's take one final look at what to expect in your weather for this morning. We start off with your temperatures in Polokwane, and it seems like most parts of the country will be expecting cool showers, except Polokwane, partly cloudy conditions with a low 16 reaching a high of 30. Mbombela 18, 33, partly cloudy conditions in Pretoria, 15 with a high of 29. Johannesburg 13, 27, thunder showers expected in Mahikeng, 12 with a high of 30. Thunder showers in Klerksdorp, 11, a high of 28. Kimberley 6, reaching a high of 27. Showers expected in Bloemfontein, 4 with a high of 26. Partly cloudy conditions in Richards Bay, 19, reaching a high of 30. Pietermaritzburg 12 with a high of 30. Durban 16, 25. Mthatha thunder showers with a low of 8 and a high of 26. Partly cloudy conditions in East London, 11 with a high of 20. Cradock 5, 25. Port Elizabeth 10 with a high of 18. Showers expected in George, a low of 8, a high of 18. Sutherland -1, reaching a cool 11. Cape Town 9 with a high of 15. Showers expected in Worcester with a low of 4, reaching a high of 14. Springboks 3, 15, and in Uppington, partly cloudy conditions, a low of 4 with a high of 25 degrees Celsius. Well, that's a wrap on your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
At Samsung, we develop technology so you can live life. Samsung, a way of life.
Well, it's time for us to catch up with social media this morning. We posted this picture and played our Guess Who game. And we said to you, this person is nominated for a You Spectacular Award for Rising Star and Most Stylish Female Celeb. Who is our mystery celeb? A lot of people said Minnie Dlamini, somebody said Queen Bee, also there was an Entle, Joanne Strauss, and the very first person to get it right was Nombuso Mayiwa, who says, I think it's Ayanda Tabete, and that is our mystery celeb. So well done to you, Nombuso, for getting it right. It is the beautiful, gorgeous Ayanda Tabete.
Oh, well, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. When we come back from a very short break, we speak to some of the cast members of SABC3's brand new show called The Mavericks, and also celebrate along with Isidingo as they celebrate their 19th anniversary. Stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Monday morning on SABC3. This is Expresso. Now, last week, Monday, SABC3 premiered a brand new lifestyle series called The Mavericks at 8:30 p.m. Now, each episode profiles a trailblazing South African entrepreneur and gives us a slice of their life. From innovators to self-made millionaires, the show unpacks their road to success and challenges that they've faced along the way. We're joined this morning by Indira Chengiwe, Marisa Machava, and Lorianne Norkia, the creators from Youngpreneur Media. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you, ladies?
How are you?
Excellent. Very, very well. Thank you very much. Hope you all celebrated Heritage Weekend quite nicely. The long one,
Yes.
of course. Still in right now. But let's talk about the show and tell me about how you go about choosing these mavericks that you profile on the show.
I think, well, the show's been created by Indira and Lorianne from Youngpreneur Media. We go about choosing our characters through what they've achieved, you know. We look at social impact, we look at the self-made status, and we also just want to celebrate people who've achieved greatness beyond our dreams. And most of the times, we're looking at young people.
Yeah.
You know, so our skew is towards the younger generation and actually celebrating achievement.
Yeah.
And also touching a bit on our heritage.
Absolutely. And Lorianne, tell me more about, you know, pretty much all about the Youngpreneur Media and a bit about your company and what it is that you guys strive to achieve through the work that you're doing and like producing shows like this.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Youngpreneur Media, we are here. We're representing
Yes,
Indira and myself, Lorianne. And it was a company, I think Indira can tell you a little bit more about the company, but we strive to actually produce amazing content for young people about entrepreneurship. I think we realized that there was a lack where entrepreneurship was concerned, and a lot of people at university level never wanted to take that step of faith or leap of faith to create their own businesses because it was always like, you know, like entrepreneurship can be frowned upon. So it's just about us telling stories about how young people can be their own creators and their own entrepreneurs. And we're so grateful to SABC3 for this amazing opportunity by selecting a young production company. It's our first production ever, and the national broadcaster has trusted us with such amazing content. So we're so grateful. But Indira can tell us a little bit more about how it started.
So basically, yeah, it started out realizing that young people had nothing to aspire to when it came to entrepreneurship. The type of content we were telling was like, entrepreneurs are so boring. Who wants to become an entrepreneur?
I must admit, it was one of the worst subjects I had in varsity.
So I also faced the same thing until I traveled and I saw these billionaires, you know, jets and everything. And I was like, the story has been telling wrong. And so that's basically how the company started. And it's so exciting to actually tell a story like this with this show, because we are showing the sexy side of entrepreneurship. And, the purpose of it is to get young people to think, oh my gosh, that's what I want. So I guess I can be innovative, I can be creative, and that's the reward for it.
Have you been surprised at the stories you found along the way if you look at the people that you profiled so far?
Yes. Especially our first character that premiered last week. Actually, Leanne from Expresso came to the actual launch at the waterfront, and it's Mokena Makeka, and this man is phenomenal. These ladies can tell you he's an architect, he's redesigning cities, he calls himself an urbanist. Originally from Lesotho, he's built some of the most amazing structures like the silos at the waterfront. He's busy with the brand new helipad. He's young, he's black, he's in Cape Town. Those are the type of stories that South Africans need to know, and they need to be encouraged by that to say, man, it doesn't matter, you know, how previously disadvantaged I am, or what happened, or what people say, what the status quo is. I can make a difference, and I can provide solutions to the problems that are out there.
Maningi Mali. So who will you be profiling on the show tonight?
So tonight we've got...
tonight's a heavy one.
Tonight's a heavy one. Tonight we've got Magda Vivishka from Signa Asset Management.
Yes.
And what's exciting about her is she's a corruption buster. You know, she's feisty. She says things that most of us South Africans would love to say, but then she has the platform to say it.
Can't wait
to
see
it. She's a self-made billionaire as well.
There she is.
Did you just say billionaire?
Yes,
she's
I said billionaire.
richest woman. She's South Africa's richest woman.
Unbelievable.
And the thing about this show that I love the most is that you see these amazing mavericks pursuing new dreams. So it's kind of like for you, who's sitting at home in the couch, like, what are you doing?
Look at those shots. I mean, guys, it's a feast for the eyes. So make sure that you do tune in and check out the next episode of The Mavericks. That'll be tonight at 8:30 p.m. on SABC3. Make sure you tune in to get your full cup of inspiration, especially on this Monday. Ladies, thank you very, very much, and good luck with the venture.
Thank you so much.
It's an incredible show. I know what I'm going to be doing at 8:30 tonight. Well, talking about shows, when you hear names like Barker Haynes or Sherelle de Villiers or Zeb and Atnas Matibani or even Rajesh Kumar, you can immediately see the faces of some of the most iconic characters from Isidingo.
That's right. Well, the popular SABC soap has certainly stood the test of time and recently celebrated its 19th birthday in fine style.
Isidingo has come a long way since its debut, and it's no surprise that the talented team behind the show celebrated another year of successful, entertaining TV.
Isidingo is undoubtedly one of the biggest soapies in South Africa. With its gripping storyline and star-studded cast, it's no wonder that this year they celebrate their 19th birthday, and we're bringing you along for the party.
For a show that has dealt with hard-hitting issues like organised crime, abuse and racism, a relaxed celebration was the perfect way to celebrate this milestone.
Pumla, 19 years of Isidingo, wow, that is a serious achievement.
It is quite an achievement and we are really proud of ourselves.
What do you think is attributed to Isidingo's success over the 19 years?
Loving to tell South African stories and having the audience that appreciates what we do because we tell real stories that affect them. So I would like to see us really continuing with what we're doing.
In 2001, the show changed its name from Isidingo to Isidingo the Need, but continued with stories including fan-favourite characters.
I'm standing with one of the characters from Isidingo that have been on the show for 15 years. Rajesh, if I can call you that.
Yes, absolutely.
For 15 years, that is amazing.
It has been an amazing time. And yes, I think back and it was a very different show. There were different characters, but we have remained true to our stories and true to our audiences as well. So it's been a wonderful journey and the adventure continues.
And what has it been like being a part of this Isidingo family and working with the best actors in the game?
I have vivid memories of coming into the show and meeting people like Michelle Boertes, who was Sherelle, Robert Whitehead, Barker Haynes, and so many strong performers, hugely famous in their own right. And this was really my first big professional gig. And I thought, how do I even match up to this? I should actually not even be on the same set with these people. But honestly, they were all, without exception, so welcoming, so understanding, so caring, and so nurturing that in that space, I was able to grow with the show.
You know, being part of the Isidingo family for me has been like such an amazing experience. I've been there in the show for 8 years now, you know, so it's been an incredible experience. I mean, from the writing team to, we've had a lot of changes, but it's so interesting to work with different people. And what is attributed to the success of the show for 19 years could possibly be the honesty, you know, in telling South African stories.
Anu, you going on to your 6th year with Isidingo, that is incredible. But 19 years of Isidingo, that is amazing.
It is, you know, and it's such an honor to be a part of something like this. Yeah, you know, a show that's been running for 19 years. That's quite incredible. You know, the writers are awesome. They've got some good stories for us going on. The guys behind the scene, I've been meeting some people that work behind the scenes that I've not met yet. And I mean, they do a fantastic job. What would we be without them? You know what I mean?
From the writers to the sound technicians, the actors to the camera operators, this hit show is the result of a team effort.
I have so much love and respect for the crew because, listen, they're always so happy and jolly and they're there every day. So there's a lot of ups and downs and late nights and early mornings, and the types of actors that I work with, the team is so committed to the show that it's not just about coming in with your lines ready, but it's about coming in with ideas about how to make your line better, how to make your story make more sense. So Isidingo allows you to share that vision and to grow that vision.
Since I've been in the industry as an actor, it's a show that I've wanted to be part of. I've been part of it for about 2 years out, and it's an exciting time, and we're looking forward to yet another 19 years of amazing stories. I think the riveting stories that Isidingo tells have edged themselves into the lives of South Africans, and we can walk this path with them for yet another 19 years. Happy birthday, Isidingo. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Isidingo, 19 years. Well, here's to another 19.
Oh, clearly a great time was had by all. So happy birthday once again to all of our family and friends from Isidingo. Now, as we continue to celebrate the holiday today, we just had to invite some local chefs into our kitchen to show us what heritage means to them in the form of food. And we're joined now by cookbook author Karima Isaacs, who spent her formative years in the historical suburb of Boerkaap in Cape Town. And she's got a proper traditional Cape Malay classic in store for us. And I'm very excited because I've never ever made bobotie before.
And it's also a slightly controversial dish as well.
How so?
Because I think there's a spin-off that the Dutch actually owns this dish. So there's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit controversial. However, on the Cape Malay side, we believe that the spices that we have here is actually from Indonesia.
Okay.
So we believe that, you know, the dish that we create is an authentic bobotie.
All right. Okay, well, let's keep it that way. It is ours. We are claiming it right now in this kitchen. All right, so we've got the onions and garlic already just underway. What are you trying to do with them then?
So we are basically just sauteing some onions with a little bit of garlic. And once you have that sort of sauteed, just slightly translucent, we add our spices.
Now, this is the key thing, because you've got to get the spicing right.
Absolutely, and you've got turmeric, you've got some ground clove, and you've got some roasted masala as well. You can also use curry powder. My grandmother actually always used to use curry powder. These are also...
so is this actually Grandma's recipe?
This is Grandma's recipe.
Oh my
From
goodness.
Workup. So, I add a little bit of sugar because that helps with caramelizing the onions a little bit more.
Okay,
and then of course you can add a little bit of salt if you want to. It's really just up to individual taste. And you saute that for about 5 to 6 minutes.
Now, this is what I
But can you smell that?
Exactly, I was about to say, this is what I call good cooking, when you're already in the kitchen and all you have in your pot or pan, just onions, and then it's already smelling amazing because of all the spices.
That's right. And this dish, actually, there is an Indonesian version of it. It's called botok jajan, which is made with very similar spices and egg custard as well. And then all you're going to do is you will take your cooked ingredients, add that to your minced meat, which we'll do now. Okay. Along with some egg and bread. So I'll just... Do you want to do that for me?
I will do that. Actually, no, you can ask me to do that, because this is me learning how to make bobotie for the very first time.
I'm just going to kind of pop that in there. That's the bread.
So now you're just looking to coat the bread in all this lovely egg. Tell me, you know, having grown up in as I said, in the Boerkaap, how significant a part of culture and heritage would you say
so I'm just going to add that. I think, oh my gosh, food is probably the cornerstone of our heritage, because meals were always had at the table, so there were no TV meals. We all sat together, and that's perfectly fine.
Excellent.
So we all sat together at the table, and my dad actually, you know, my father always said this. He said, if you are going to cook, then you cook with love.
Yes.
And if you are going to eat, then you need to eat with someone. Never alone.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, and I think that was also the kind of the tradition in Boerkaap. So this is just about right.
Okay.
And I am going to add that to the pot.
Oh, you're going to add that in there?
That's right.
Okay,
so
should I help you there with that?
So if you could just, careful now it's hot.
Okay, so there we go. I'll just
This
keep it over like that, and then you can go right in there.
Really up close and personal here, yeah? Okay.
All right, all right.
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
So that's a little bit warm. And if you don't mind, I love using my hands. So
please go ahead, go ahead. By the way, you at home can SMS the keyword dinner to 33728, and we'll send you a link to the recipe as well as an ingredients list so that you can make your own traditional Cape Malay bobotie to celebrate heritage. That looks amazing.
Yeah, and it smells so good.
What's meant to happen here?
So now you can whisk that for me with the milk.
Okay, cool. I'll start beating here.
Yes.
And I tell you what.
So you're almost doing like an egg custard?
Yes.
That's
Give me just a quick roundup. Once you've made your egg custard, what then? Is it just laying a bed at the bottom?
This is all we're going to do now. So we'll add this here, we'll lay it, and we'll take the milk, add that to the custard, pour that over, and then you just garnish with some bay leaves and Bob's your own.
I tell you what, we're going to finish up nice in our own time, nicely and relaxed, and then we'll come and reveal the dish when we're done with it. So SMS the keyword dinner to 33728 while we finish up our bobotie.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
Well, coming up after the break, we take a look at the community of District 6 who came together to tell their story of things that happened in the past by way of a hospital mural. So inspiring.
Very inspiring indeed. While we're taking a quick break, we'll continue our Heritage Day celebrations. We'll see you after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Right, so shortly before the break, we were making beautiful traditional heritage food, especially traditional here to the Cape, and we were making a bobotie. So what we did is that we took all of our ingredients, Karim and I, the mince, and you made a bed of it, right, with onions and everything?
Absolutely, and then we did a little bit of an egg custard, which is just egg and milk. Poured that over, and we garnished it with some bay leaf. Excellent. And I believe we have a nice hot one in the oven.
Yes, so you'd go, I see here, 220 degrees.
Yes.
Preheated oven, and how long would you go for?
Probably about 20 minutes, because you want it to set quite nicely.
Yes.
This one we might have left in slightly longer, but no, ma'am, don't worry about it.
It's a bit hot.
No, it's fine. And we traditionally serve it with sweet yellow rice and sultanas. So that would be in the rice.
I'm looking for a spoon so we can actually break it open and show what... There's a little teaspoon over there.
Would you?
Yes, go right ahead. Just dig in there and...
Okay.
Just show at the bottom. There we go. Okay. That part of it is done.
So that's actually what the bobotie looks like.
Lovely. Oh, alte lekker. And you can SMS the keyword.
I'm going to taste this though.
Dinner to 3378. You can go.
I'm
yes.
tasting this.
Is this a good one? It's a good batch. Yes, breakfast is served, baby.
Oh, my tummy is actually rumbling right now. It looks delicious, guys. Well done. Well, living in a country with such a diverse and shared history like we have here in South Africa, it really is wonderful that we get to celebrate Heritage Day. So while you at home get a chance to sit back, relax, and reflect on what Heritage Day means to you, we're going to catch up with some of our celebrity friends to find out what Heritage Day means to them.
Heritage for me means supporting your culture and flying your flag high. I think it kind of interlinks with patriotism, but not necessarily for the country as a whole, but to kind of always supporting each other.
I get to learn, I get to eat something I've never eaten. You know, I get booked in some of the most remote places where I get to experience some of the most amazing cultures that we have in our country. And I think that's one of the highlights of my Heritage Month.
It means me being able to learn and teach the young ones about the history of our forefathers, the history of our tribes, where we come from, and how we can take forward that which was given to us.
Just a constant reminder that across all the different ethnic groups and colors of our country, a big underlying foundation is the spirit of Ubuntu, like it's a real thing.
The right to enjoy who I am, you know what I'm saying? So basically, whether you're Xhosa, Zulu, you know, Afrikaner, whatever the case is, you have the privilege and the right to celebrate who you are freely, you know, to celebrate your past, you know, who you are currently and where, you know, you are going.
To me, heritage means just representing who you are and where you're from, and the people that you grew up with. I think it's unique, and it's a dope thing to have people from different areas from South Africa with different cultures, and you know, everybody should, you know, we should be proud of that, you know.
It's really appreciating our history, you know. They say you don't know where you're going until you know where you've been, you know, so really appreciating, you know, how far we've come, you know, and the people that have played a significant role along the way, and embracing them.
Now, amidst South Africa's history, there are great times and there are sad times, and in certain communities, these memories sit side by side. District 6 is a revered community with a bittersweet past, but a powerful art project is healing old wounds while also celebrating an iconic facility within the old neighborhood.
The history of District 6 and its hospital are really integrated, because the hospital itself wouldn't have been able to offer the kind of service and kindness that it did if it wasn't for the community it was situated in. And the community itself wouldn't have been such a nurturing community without this very hospital that sort of became the center of District 6.
With a new healthcare facility under construction on the site of the former Peninsula Maternity Hospital in District 6, a diverse team have been working on a project to memorialize the old hospital.
It's the perspective of over 30 participants who came together and decided what they would want to honor and tried to make sure that no people were left out. It's about trying to show the feeling, the atmosphere. The mural tells the story of District 6 and the Peninsula Maternity Hospital. So when you look at the mural, what you'd see is the placemaker, which is Table Mountain at the back, sort of more towards the foreground. You see the hospital, you see the cinemas, you see churches, mosques. Thereafter, you begin to notice the people, the interaction between the people. Central to the story of the mural is the midwife, and she's holding this little baby. But then above those, you see the two hands that come together, trying to support each other, but then being supported by a third hand. So it's about as many stories coming together to create a history that's really inclusive.
Working closely with the District 6 Museum, the contributors to the art project are former residents of the area, as well as former staff from the hospital.
Since the museum started in the early 90s, the staff of Peninsula have been some of the biggest donors to the museum. We have lots of images, photographs that were taken by midwives from the area, so that there's always been that link between staff, the museum. And in 2016, we just acted on it, and we invited people to bring more pictures and to actually come and share the experience of working at Peninsula with us as well. They brought their grandchildren, they brought their great-grandkids. So it was this huge surprise to find that you have different generations who have been participating and really contributing and actually learning from each other as we go along this process. It just summed up, what we try to do as a museum, making the past alive and keeping those memories alive as well.
The mural on the outside wall is one of a number of art installations that will live within the new facility and serve to honor the legacy of Peninsula Maternity.
The hospital has got a lot of history because my whole family were born at Peninsula, the hospital, and my son was also born at this hospital.
From about 1985 until the hospital closed in 1991 and moved to Mowbray, I was the obstetrician in charge of the hospital. Those were very, very wonderful years because one came into a sort of family situation.
And whoever joined us, the staff just grew. And with the result, that harmony was there, the love and compassion for each and every one. The same actually as the community was towards each other.
It was very healing for me because we were evicted in 1981. And to be amongst our peers, and it was joyful. And we cried, and awesome.
I think it was 10 months long. We put a call out for any residents, any ex-Peninsula staff who wanted to share their story. And the most amazing part of it all was that they came up with the concept. They came up with the art materials, the style we should use, the colors. The first thing they did was they did their drawings from their memories, from their old personal archives. And once they had their drawings, we photoshopped them all together. And once that was done, we had the hard job of deciding on colors. And I think that did take a while, but once we hit the spot, I mean, it was fantastic. We've now come to the point where we're going to produce 5 artworks.
The artworks not only celebrate the glory days of District 6, it's also preserving precious memories for future generations.
I can't even explain what it feels like to have this up today and to have everyone around me. I'm going to stop there, I'm going to clock. It's a matter of everyone coming up together. So we stand together, we've done everything together, we're very proud of what we've done. So for me, this is what art is for. This is a healing process, it's therapeutic, and the beauty is that it will live on forever.
That's right. Well, listen, we're taking a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. I think the art world's been waiting for this moment. The Zeitz Mocha Museum opened its doors, and we're going to talk to Mark Coetzee after the break.
And then Kat and Expresso recently visited New York, and we decided to do a little bit of a comparison between New York and Cape Town.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's Expresso, and the world's been waiting with great anticipation for one of the most historic and iconic art museums to officially open its doors to the public. It's the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art Africa, and the grand opening was an event that had a lot of fanfare and a lot of celebration as well. And joining us to chat more about the significance of the museum for Cape Town and indeed the entire continent is Executive Director and Chief Curator Mark Coetzee. Good morning.
Morning, Zoe.
I have to ask you, it's been a busy weekend and a big build-up to the opening of the Zeitz Marker. What was the reception like?
Unbelievable. I think that, you know, when you do a new project, you always have a little trepidation. Cape Townians are a hard community to please, but they came out in force. Yesterday, there were 6,100 visitors who came through the museum. The line stretched all the way around the block, down the road. I mean, it was just extraordinary to see people coming out to celebrate their culture at this moment in time and saying, I'm proud of being a South African and an African.
I love that. You know what? And I feel like that's something a lot of people could reflect on, especially yesterday also being Heritage Day. Was that strategic? Did you plan to open the museum around there?
We wanted to say heritage is an important thing. It makes us who we are. It gives us value. It says that you as an individual matter. And it was just such a celebration because everyone came in their traditional dress, in their cultural heritage, and it made it such a celebration. Culture brought the entire Cape Town together, and our international visitors, I think, were just blown away and inspired by this possibility, as Desmond Tutu said, as a rainbow nation of diverse people, but who can actually get on and build something together.
And I love that that's all going to be displayed in the Zeitz Marker. And I think, you know, a lot of people are also going to wonder what is or how will the Zeitz Marker, you know, represent South Africans and Africans alike in one space?
Well, we're the first major museum in the world, as you know, to represent Africa and the diaspora on the scale. So we have a huge responsibility to try and represent all 54 states in Africa and the diaspora, African-American, Afro-Brazilian. So it's a big job, but luckily we currently have 21 curators on staff, and they out there, they're looking, they're researching, they're meeting artists, and that's our mission. Our mission is to say, let's try to represent everybody so that everyone understands, as I said, the value of who they are as a person.
I really like that because I was saying earlier to you, I was at the opening on Friday, but I feel like I haven't explored much of the actual museum. But you said there are different shows, there'll be different exhibitions coming through.
Well, we opened with 12 exhibitions on 9 floors. This is a massive museum. This is the size of any major international museum. So when you come, you're going to have time, you're going to have dedication, and the shows will constantly be changing. So every day there'll be a talk, a lecture, a film screening, a performative piece. I think it's going to be very exciting that art is just going to become part of our everyday life.
I really like that. Well, Mark, thank you so much for joining us and sharing that. And of course, be sure to tune in to Expresso this Wednesday. We will be bringing you a full overview of what went down at Friday's event. And in the meantime, make sure you get yourself to the Zeitz Marker, or at least the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art Africa. It definitely is going to become a top destination to add to your Cape Town and South African itinerary. And if you'd like to know more about the exhibitions and the attractions currently showing, you can visit zeitzmarker.museum.
Well, you know what? Cape Town and New York have so many similarities, a melting pot of different cultures, people, food, architecture, and the list goes on and on. So when Kat and Expresso recently visited there as guests of Cape Town Tourism, we thought, you know what, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of healthy competition, and these are the similarities that we found.
New York, New York. Welcome to the Big Apple, baby. One of the world's most well-known cultural hubs, and in many ways can actually be compared to Cape Town. If you think about it, first of all, it's by the ocean. It's a melting pot of diverse people, food, and music. And of course, it's crawling with hipsters that are hopping around from coffee shop to coffee shop. So today, I'm going to go around comparing some of the mother city's best and well-known aspects to those of New York. Because of course, there's nothing wrong with a little competition. Now, if you find yourself in Cape Town hungry enough to feed about 4 people, all you got to do is hop on down to the Golden Dish and order a Full House Gatsby. But here in New York, all they do is come downtown and order some pie. And by pie, I mean pizza pie. Here at Lombardi's Pizzeria is where they did it first.
Nestled on a busy corner in the famous suburb of Little Italy is a small, unassuming shop with red awnings that's been serving world-famous pizza for more than 100 years.
And over here, check it out. This plaque that's confirming that from 1905, Gennaro Lombardi opened up this pizzeria, which now stands as America's very first pizzeria.
To this day, they still keep it traditional here. Thin crust, fresh tomato sauce, not too much cheese, and don't forget a sprinkle of fresh basil.
I'm a part of the long list of famous customers like Jack Nicholson, Mariah Carey, and even the famous New York cake boss, Buddy Velastro, who've all sat here and had a slice of history at Lombardi's.
From food to landmarks, Table Mountain's counterpart must surely be the natural beauty of New York's heart, Central Park, while the history and symbolism of Robben Island can only be compared to the towering presence of the Statue of Liberty.
Now in Cape Town, the most cost-effective way of getting around is with our minibus taxis, where a simple will get a taxi to stop for you. Now here in New York, with their yellow cabs, it's a bit more complicated. Firstly, the signals 1, 2, 3, 4 indicate which airport you want to go to. If you want to go somewhere very close by, you'll use this kind of hand signal. And if you want to go around the city somewhere a bit further, raise your hand and wave it like that. So let's see if I can holler at a cab. Taxi! No! Come on! Get the hand thing! So, when you're riding in a New York taxi cab, here are a couple of helpful hints. Firstly, try and be nice to your driver. A good smile will go a long way. And of course, know where you want to go. Now, along with that is understanding that New York works on a grid system. So, for instance, telling your driver that you want to go to number 170 Broadway Street isn't as helpful as knowing the intersection of the streets closest to your destination. So know that. And then finally, of course, tipping. And of course, they accept cash and card. Now, when it comes to sweet treats associated with Cape Town, you certainly have to think firstly about the koestersterren. Who can resist those beautiful, spicy donuts, sprinklings of coconut all over them? Sink your teeth into that. Now, when it comes to New York, well, they have a sweet treat of their own, one which stretches over many, many years, made by a lady called Eileen. And it's a special cheesecake that is baked and comes in all kinds of assortments. When I heard about it, I had to try it for myself.
Eileen moved to New York with her family 42 years ago and opened the bakery after losing her mom to cancer. To this day, she still uses the same traditional recipe her mother passed down to her.
Tell me about what it is that makes your cheesecake, your New York style cheesecake, so special, hence the name Special.
Well, one of the things, if you want to talk about the actual batter, is that first of all, we use all good ingredients, but it's also the love. Everything is done by hand with a lot of caring that goes into it. And we have adopted a new flavor for every year that we're in business. So we have 42 different flavors with the same basic cheesecake as the ingredient, but we've added flavors and chocolate and fruits and cookies and nuts and different things to keep life interesting, because variety is the spice of life.
Absolutely.
We would like to dessert you with one of our favorites and one of our newest flavors, which is our salted caramel.
Oh,
it's been bruleed by Holly. She'd like to bring it to you, and we'd like you to taste it.
Oh, wow. Look at that. The brulee. That's just lovely.
Whether it's natural beauty, rich history, indulgent feasts, or the hustle and bustle of the city life, New York and Cape Town truly are magnificent cities. But at the end of the day, for me, there's nothing quite like home.
Oh, exciting times indeed. Well, something that's equally exciting is that Woolworths recently launched their upgraded app, and it comes with a whole host of new amazing features. Now, you can link your W Rewards account to the app and view all your vouchers right there and then. Plus, you can scan them in-store directly from your phone. Now, Zoe, I know you've been going through the app. I went through it last week. What's your
my take on it?
Yeah.
You know what? I love that everything can be found in one space. It's pretty straightforward, the way it's laid out. I mean, here they have various features. For example, here you can see 7 spots for some lunches, nice. Your 3 takes on a coleslaw. So they have videos, they have photographs. So cool. Braai like a boss. I think that was so relevant for yesterday being Heritage Day. But I think what's great is when it comes to the fashion part, they do have a segment that says, as seen on Expresso and Afternoon Express, since we're all wearing woolies on the show. I mean, Lee, you wore this dress. I wore that black pants just last week. That's Kat's navy shirt. So the great thing is, what you see us wear on the show, and if you like it, you just go on over to the website, go on over into the app, in fact, and it makes it so easy for you to spot exactly what we were wearing on that day.
I love it. That's absolutely amazing. Well, as all Woolies customers, you simply have to get this app. It's going to make your life so convenient and, of course, make things even easier. We'll send you a link right now to download the app to your device. Now, if you have access to the iStore, simply SMS the keyword app, APP, to 33728. And if you're an Android user, simply use the keyword play to 33728. SMSs are R1.50 each and no free SMSs apply. We'll send you a link directly to your device and you're one step away from tapping into a world of W rewards.
Well, the sizzling celebration of heritage in the form of food continues in our kitchen, and we're joined this morning by baker and chef Siska Rousseau, who's the co-owner of Loaves on Long, and she's got a very modern twist to a South African classic. Just my eyes are feasting on what's going on here, Siska. Thank you. Breakfast is going to be amazing. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Good. So what do we have? I see some chia butter over there.
So we've got, this is a little white loaf here that we're going to toast now. What's going to happen is we're going to do a really nice skilpaatjie sandwich.
Oh, skilpaatjie. So that's the twist.
That's it. Well, yeah.
That's the classic is the skilpaatjie. And then the sandwich is how we twist it up.
So it's usually used as a like side dish to fry, but I think sometimes that can just be celebrated on its own.
Just quickly remind me, what is in a skilpaatjie?
So skilpaatjie, you take lamb liver.
Yes.
We make it a little bit different. We use lamb liver and a little bit of lamb mince.
Okay.
And then it's put in caul fat, which is this lovely stuff over here.
Okay.
So this is the stuff that gives you a heart attack all in one. But it's delicious.
Just
there we go.
Spend a bit more hours, squatting it out while you're preparing it in the gym. Or I mean in the kitchen. All right, so we've got those going over there.
Yeah.
And then what do we have in the sauce?
Here, I thought we can go a little bit to a chakalaka. So we've got a little chakalaka drizzle just to go over that, just to break the richness, but still pick up on the heritage.
Okay, fantastic. With the skilpaatjies, the way that they make, do you buy them like that, or do you?
You can buy them like that. Certain butcheries would make it. You can't get it at all butcheries, but you can also just make it yourself. It's pretty easy to make. The only thing you need to get is the caul fat, obviously. That's a little bit more difficult to get. So you mince up your liver. You put your ingredients in there. We put some cranberries and some pistachio nuts. Pretty much whatever you like to go with your liver or your lamb. And then you just wrap it in the caul fat, pop in the pan for a little bit or in the oven for about 10 minutes, and Bob's your uncle.
All right, you at home can SMS the keyword snack to 33728, and then you can make your own beautiful grilled chia butter, skilpaatjie, and chagalaga sandwich.
Yes.
All right, let's get compiling and assembling.
Let's get on here. All right.
Oh my word!
I'm gonna take those off. Could I ask you to come around me?
I'll come around over here. Yes.
Switch off this.
Alrighty.
This McGafter for me. All right. So we're just going to take out the toothpick. That's quite important. Otherwise, you might be stuck a little bit.
In the meantime, I tell you what, I'm just going to save these skilpaatjies.
You do that for me, please. All right.
Oh, but the sizzle of the fat.
So you want that to go really nice and crispy. Otherwise, the other thing that people do often is they put bacon. They put bacon around it, so you've got this rich on.
I actually thought that's what it was.
No, it's usually made with caul fat.
Traditionally, just with caul fat.
Traditionally with caul fat.
All right.
Alrighty. Let's put a few more slices.
Okay. I'll tell you what. While you do that, because I know that presentation is everything when it comes to cooking, so we'll finish up and we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll have a finished product for you.
Yes.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
Right for you. Can I go?
A fire in a storm, and love is raining down on me, and the weed keeps me warm. So I don't need no privacy, just let me hold you close, 'cause I need all your time before I go. Yeah, yeah. In case you didn't know, your smile you're trying to hide from me. I think it's beautiful, the way your lips are lying to me, and everything is so amazing. Yeah. So when I pull you closer, girl, don't reject the way it affects all your emotions. No, no, no. I feel it edging closer. Oh, baby, just don't deny. Yeah. No, no, no. Fire in a storm, the love is raining down on me, and the weed keeps me warm, so I don't need no pride.
Thank you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Oh, the food and the culinary journey in this kitchen has been amazing as we celebrate Heritage Day and Heritage Month. Look at that. Our chia butter is grilled. The skilled pikes are lacquered. It's just going to be breakfast of kings this morning.
Nom nom nom.
It's
Nom nom.
breakfast of kings.
There we go.
Look at that. That's very
gorgeous.
There we go.
my take on a South African yumminess.
Shotgun. All right, listen, it's time for us to say a very quick goodbye. Thank you very much to Siska and all of our chefs and all of our guests that have entertained us. In fact, we're going to close off this Monday morning with Cohen, of course, our Cohen Bike is our guest artist, singing a song called Right For You. Enjoy your Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Fire in a storm, your love is raining down on me, and it keeps me warm. So I don't need no privacy, just let me hold you close, 'cause I need all your time before I go. Yeah. In case you didn't know, that smile you're trying to hide from me, I think it's beautiful. The way your lips are lying to me, everything is so amazing. No, no, no. So when I pull you closer, girl, don't reject the way it affects all your emotions. No, no, no. I feel it edging closer. Oh, baby, just don't deny. Yeah, I'm a little bit right for you. 'Cause when you look back, girl, I'm not so bad. Just a little bit right for you, love. No, you really don't like to lose. But what can I say? I'm feeling away like I'm just a bit right for you. Just a little bit right for you. Just a little bit away. Away, away. Just a little bit away. No. A rose in a cold, Your skin, your lips, you're beautiful. And baby, I know that you're not like the usual. They come and they go, but I would never want to leave your side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I'm not the type to say things you like to get on your side. I'm keeping it real, I'll say how I feel, all feelings aside. I'm not trying to be the reason that you having all these feelings. Just trying to say you're beautiful to me and that I mean it when I pull you closer. Girl, don't reject the way it affects all your emotions. No, no, no. I feel it edging closer. Oh, baby, just don't deny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a little bit right for you. Cause when you look back, girl, I'm not so bad. Just a little bit right for you, love. No, 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 you really don't like to lose. But what can I say? I'm feeling away like I'm just a bit right for you. Just a little bit right for you. Just a little bit away. Nah, 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 away. Nah, nah, just a little bit away. Nah, 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 no. Just a little bit away. Just a little bit away.
Expresso.
I'm just a little bit right for you.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.